Hi everybody, Carissa here with Inky Fairy Designs for Marker Pup today, and we're going to be making this card using some Paper Smooches stamps and some Copic Coloring, and I'm actually following the sketch from My Favorite Things challenges this week. So this is the stamp set that I'm using. I already cut out my panel that I'm going to be stamping on from Copic Xpress blending card, and I'm using Tsukinkeo Memento ink in Tuxedo Black to stamp all of my images. And the idea of this card came to me when I first got this stamp set. There is this sentiment in it. It's so cute. It says, "How have you been?" and it's B-E-A-N, like how have you been? And I just love punny sentiments. And so there is one open line art jelly bean in this set. There's also another filled jelly bean, but I wanted to color in each of these jelly beans. So I'm doing some masking, which I don't do a whole lot, but I cut out two masks for the jelly beans, and I'm just moving those two masks around as I stamp my jelly bean image and create this little pile of jelly beans that I will end up coloring. So now on all of the jelly beans that appear to be in the front, I am adding the smiley face that came with the stamp set. I think it's just so cute. A lot of the Paper Smooches stamp sets have that little smiley face so that you can really add some life to these fun images. And now I'm doing some simple Copic coloring, just two color blending on each of the jelly beans. I'm doing the colors of the rainbow. It just was very easy for me. I didn't have to think about what colors I wanted to use for each jelly bean. I just went right down the colors of the rainbow, and I kept the color combinations very simple. I have all of the colors that I used at the end of the video, and I also have them on my blog, so you can see them there and get all of the colors if you're interested. Now, when I'm coloring the jelly beans, I just wanted to point out very simple coloring, like I said, but when you're coloring like a rounded object like these jelly beans, what you'll see me doing is I'm leaving a white highlight when I first color the image. So you'll see that I leave that highlight, and then I'll add my shadow and I'll leave that highlight. You can see that on the purple, and then I'm coming in with the darker one and leaving that, and then I'm taking my lightest one and I am coloring that out and blending those out, but it's leaving that highlight where the curve would be, and that's just giving some added dimension and realistic look to the image, because if you look at anything around you, usually where the light hits, it's going to have a highlight even though it's going to be in a shadow area. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I think you can kind of see what I'm talking about when I was coloring those jelly beans. Now I'm coloring the ones behind them, and I'm not doing that so much because they are behind, so they're going to have definitely more of a shadow. But again, this is just a fun image, and I'm not thinking about it too much. It's a really simple card that comes together quickly. I was even thinking it wouldn't take long to make a few of these cards to have on hand. So now I'm grounding my little pile of jelly beans using a gray color just to give it something to sit on, and I added a little bit of a highlight around the image as well with a blue. So now I'm coming in with probably my favorite thing in my craft room right now, which is the Wink of Stella Clear. The glitter brush pen. I love adding this whether I'm watercoloring or Copic coloring. It's just such a great touch to all of your colored images. I also wanted to point out that I added a highlight with a white gel pen. So now I'm coming in and we're going to assemble the card today. All of my die cuts are from My Favorite Things. I am in love with the blueprints Die-Namics, and I think they just make assembling cards Super easy. I'm using two today. I'm using Blueprints 20. That's where the banner came from that I'm using for my sentiment. And I'm also using Blueprints 22, which is this piece that I'm inking up with some Memento Toffee Crunch. I like to ink up the edges of my pieces on the layers of my card. I think it just gives a really nice definition in between each layer, and it's something that you can do or not do, but I think it adds a lot to the finished card. So I am just putting all of my pieces together. I did want to mention that I added Glossy Accents as well to the jelly beans at the end, but I ended up cutting that out of the video because my head just was in the way the entire time that I was adding it, so kind of was pointless to just see the top of my head. But I wanted to mention that I did do that on each of the jelly beans, and I think it just adds another layer. I think it looks really pretty with the coloring and the wink of Stella, and then having that glossy accents on top. So I'm just adding some clear sequins, and that really finishes up my card today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something a little bit different. If you did, please definitely give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel just to let me know that you do enjoy them. And here's the color combinations like I promised. They'll also be on my blog. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.